So hello and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you bought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug was a gift from a subscriber. Thank you again, Jean. I think it is a cute mug. I really love it. But as we all know, I love coffee mugs. And on that particular unboxing, I did kind of go a little, get a little excited over this. Today's tea is also a favorite, and that is my stash chocolate orange. And we're just going to get a sip and get started. And yeah. She's been sitting here for a few minutes while I've been getting ready and stuff. So she's pretty much at full strength. I didn't put in as much sugar as usual, so there's a little less sweetness to it than usual, a little less, not quite a bitterness, but a deeper flavor to the chocolate, which is coming up a little bit on the stronger side than the orange right now. Hopefully towards the end of the video, it'll all, it'll all do its thing. And we'll get more of that orange. So welcome to another Whole and Healthy Wednesday. I actually had a hard time deciding on today's topic. We've covered most of what I believe about actually dieting and losing weight, and the physical journey towards health, and the spiritual journey is just a little harder to discuss. You got your spiritual and your emotional, and those are things that should be discussed. I'm just not quite sure where to go with some of those, but I did finally decide what I was going to talk on today, and that's on faith, and it's not going to be on religious faith. We'll get into that in a minute. And before we do, we are going to get into our old and new, and I have to say it was kind of hard to choose a few things because I really want to play with my Princess Ayiti palette from GLF Cosmetics. I actually wanted to just do this one by itself and go into some sunsetty colors, but this is a new. And then I threw in also the Pure palette, Festival palette, also for new because it has a few sunsetty colors as well. And for old, I picked out my Alamar, the original Reina del Caribe palette, so we'll try to use some of that as well. Not sure how this is going to go. I kind of know where I want to go with my look. It's just a matter of figuring out how to blend these, and the Festival palette may not make that big of a showing, if at all. But yeah, so that's where I wanted to go. Also new today will be the Finding Ferdinand lipstick that got sent to me by a subscriber. We'll give that a try today and see how that looks. And yeah, so that's it for the old and new. Most everything else will be coming, old foundations that I like to wear. A few other things, maybe new from boxes and stuff. So the usuals on the rest of it. And I've already done my face and everything like that. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. And actually, I am going to start with this. And I am going to blend this color Epic with this color Free Spirit. So Epic and Free Spirit to put underneath my brow. And I might throw in just a touch of Confident from this palette. So talking about faith, and when I say not religious faith, the basic definition of faith is believing in something without proof. And in general, it is usually applied to religion, but it's not my job to tell you guys what you should believe in religion. I was raised in a non-religious household. I became born again in my teens, and I was one of those Harvest kids. So I don't know if any of you have heard of Harvest in the Harvest churches in California, but they were a bit wild. Not, they were just, yeah. Anyway, Calvary chapels, I believe, and then they became Harvest. Some of them became Harvest churches. But so that's where I started. I was in that faith for a very long time. So I'm taking some of that Confident and going to see how that does over these. Well, that's very pretty. That gave it a very warm, sunny color. I'm going for a sunset kind of look. I do want to talk about faith because the world is going to hell right now. Sadly. And I don't know about you guys, but lately I'm really struggling with hanging on. All right, so I'm not normally a matte girl, but we are going to take these two mattes. We're going to take Cocoa Taxi and put that on the inner half, and the Tropico and put that sort of on the outer half. And then I'm probably going to take some of this orange color Unique and put that in the middle for some brightness. So interesting that I've picked 3 mattes for this. We'll see how this goes. I am not a matte girl. We all know this. I'm not a matte girl, but we'll see how this works. So we're starting with that Cocoa Taxi. So I don't know about you guys, but I am really starting to struggle with, that's almost the color of what's under my lid. So we'll have to do something with that. But anyway, I don't know about you guys, but I am really starting to struggle with what's going on in the world today. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. The fight against women having rights over their bodies, whether you agree with it for you or not. I believe women should have the right to choose, and if they are Christians, they need to come to terms to it with their God on their own. That's not my job. It's not my job to tell them what they can and cannot do with their bodies. And then, you know, the children in cages, anti-vaxxers, we've got measles coming back, the shit they're doing to our food and water with deregulation, and our air with all the deregulation. Climate change. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen what it's doing. So all the stuff that seems to be battering us on a daily basis, it's just, it's exhausting. And I think most of you would agree with that. Whether you agree with my actual politics or my beliefs or whatever, I think you would agree that the bombardment every day of freedoms being lost, people being abused, all that stuff, I think you would agree that that's just becoming mind-boggling and exhausting to deal with on a daily basis, to see the new terrors coming out on a daily basis, hearing about more and more people getting hurt on a daily basis. It's just tough. So it is. And it's going on everywhere. We're seeing it not just in the United States. You know, we're watching Brexit go down. We're watching, we're just watching so much going on. We're seeing so many more terrorist attacks. And not just from Muslims and people of brown skin, but we're seeing an increase in white supremacy terrorist attacks and things of that nature. And it is just... People, we're all human, okay? Regardless. I just got to say this. We're all human. And skin color doesn't matter. And going after people because of their skin or their religion, just stop. So yeah, I'm just at that, I don't know about you, but I'm at that point of exhaustion, watching it every day and trying to figure out how to deal with it every day, you know. And we go into our music, we go into our beauty communities, we go into all kinds of things to try to bring some light to our lives, and it just, some days I think it's harder than others to do that. Okay, so I'm going to take this big Luxie brush that we just got in our BoxyCharm. I'm going to grab some of this Unique and see if I can just tap it on the middle of my lid and bring a little brightness. Surprising how many mattes I'm using, but anyway. Apparently not. Somehow this orange and the color I've used on my lid are pretty close. those. Now that is unexpected. Okay, so that didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. We're going to grab some of this La Costa and put that across the center of the lid and see if that brings some brightness and some shimmer. Some shimmer. I like some shimmer. Not really any brightness, but it is bringing a little shimmer. So we'll go with that for now. It's lightening it up just a little bit. This look is going to end up being not quite nearly as, I don't know. It's already not doing what I envisioned. We'll go with that. Wow. Okay. We're going to need to do something with that eventually. I'm going to have to do something with that eventually. But we're going to move on. I'm going to take some of this purple Courage and do my crease and that. Anyway, so what I really wanted to talk about and haven't gotten to is that we kind of need to have faith that it will all work out in the end. We need to have faith that tomorrow will be a better day. We need to have faith that things will get better. Without having the faith, you know, the belief that sanity will eventually prevail, where are we? We're stuck in a morass of just absolute chaos and the world going to hell. So we have to find ways to survive that, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. You have to hold on to something for tomorrow. Whether you believe in God or not, you have to hold on to something. Something's going to be better. We're going to have a better day. We're going to do something. I don't know. Just, you have to find something to hang on to. The innocence of your children. The snuggles of your pets. Something to keep you going. And you have to believe that tomorrow is a better day. That next week's going to be a better week. That somehow, some way, we will get through this and we will come out the other side better for it. I know I kind of went roundabout on that a little bit, but that's what it comes down to. We all need to believe better, believe people are capable of more. Believe that this situation, we already know that this situation, this day, what's going on right now won't be forever. So now we just need to take that belief one step further and try to find a way to believe that tomorrow will be a better day. That somewhere, somehow along the line, things will actually be better. Not the same, but better. And I know that's hard to do, but it's something we've got to do for our own sanity. It's what we've got to do for part of our health, our mental health, because you just can't take watching this stuff all the time, and it's just so hard to survive it without some kind of faith, without some kind of hope, without some kind of just knowing things are going to get better at some point. I'm going to use the color Strong in the crease and keeping it up. So, how can we do that right now? There's different things that I do to try to encourage myself when I'm having a rough time with something. One of the things, and there's things that I've watched other people do, some of those I should do and I just don't. One of the things you can do is disconnect from the internet for a while, because really the internet is sludge. And every now and then you just got to walk away and take a breather and find your equilibrium again, find your balance again, recharge your batteries, you know, things like that. So just walk away if you need to for a while. Another thing you can do is you have somebody in your life who's being toxic, who's making you feel miserable all the time. Find a way to cut them out. You don't want to see them anymore. You're not going to go to dinner with them anymore. You're not going to put up with their shit anymore, basically is what it comes down to. I'm going to take my blending brush and blend those together. So basically, one of the ways to deal with this is just to try to get rid of those negative elements if you can. Okay. Not liking how that's working out, but we're going to keep moving. I don't know. I wanted to go sunsetting. This just isn't quite doing it for me. But like I said, I'm not a matte girl, and that might be part of the problem. I do enjoy these particular palettes. I don't know. Gotta figure something out here. And I'm actually going to get this wet with some setting spray. I don't want it too wet. And I'm going to dig back into this purple over here and see what being wet does to it. Okay, so it didn't change the color or anything really. But I do think it helped make it more deeper in a way. I don't know. Can you? Yeah, I think that really, really helped the purple. That really helped this purple a lot. So, like that. That was my first problem, is that purple was just so faded. We don't want faded purple. Another thing you can do to recharge is make sure to do things for you. And don't let anybody tell you that they're wrong or bad. Do things you enjoy. Just, you know, maybe even take a whole day to pamper yourself. A day where you get to go and maybe pick yourself something up that you really want to have, and then treat yourself to a spa thing at home. Have a bubble bath, mask, take care of your toes, your nails, whatever. Something to help bring some of that, just some peace and relaxation into your life, because you're going to need it. It's one of those things that will just help you recover a little bit. I mean, if you're constantly bombarded by how bad things are, it's kind of hard to have faith. It's kind of hard to have hope. It's kind of hard to look ahead and say things are going to be better or whatever. So do something to help with that, to give yourself some relief and to move forward and to, you know, just have a better time of it. Just to cut yourself a break. I'm really trying here, folks. I'm probably doing terrible. I think one of the things that damages our faith the most is having it constantly bombarded by the negative. When you want to have faith, you basically want to have hope. You want to have something, you want to believe in something good. And right now, all we're getting is a whole lot of bad in our news and everything else. Okay, so I'm going to take this. This is one of those mini detail Luxie mini angle brushes, and I'm going to take this color Guantanamera. I'm pronouncing that terribly, I know. What's Spanish? Anyway, I'm going to put that on the very outer corner of my lid. Just deepen this space up right here a little bit. Give it some depth, give it some shadow. And I know you guys can't really see it, but I'm already liking how that helped with this look. Because right now my lid, there is a nice graduation, but then on the outside of it, it looks like, you know, just it goes flat. It's like there's no continuation of that graduated color. So we're going to do that on both sides. So you have to find ways, going back, you have to find ways to keep your hope, to keep your faith alive, one way or another, because it's going to get bombarded, especially right now with everything that's going on. And the best way to do that is to, I don't know what that was, but I suspect it was a cat. I don't want to look. I don't want to know. Our cats have been getting into a lot of stuff lately. I think it's spring fever for them. They're going a little nuts. All right, I'm going to take, I'm going to take this Juvia's Place brush, and we are going to take this color Verdadero, and we're going to put it under the outside half of my lower lash line, out, and then just a little bit into the crease to bring it in. It's got a little more shine to it. It's going to bring out a little bit more, some of that, you know, shiny, shimmery effect that you should have in a sunset that we're not getting right now. I am tempted to use the gold, but I'm trying to avoid using the gold for, I've used it before and that stuff gets all over the place. But this is a beautiful color. And we're going to go back like this, along the line, just in a straight line. Back like that. And then we're going to take it a little bit up into the crease, not all the way up. We're letting the blue from the Princess Aita do her thing too. So it fades into this nice shimmery blue we got. I like that. We're getting there. We're getting there. Anyway, I just, I probably have completely butchered this talk, but I just want to encourage you to do the things you need to restore your spirit, restore your faith, restore your faith that tomorrow can be better, restore your faith that people can be better. Go find some good, you know, there's good news stories out there of people who have stepped up. Not everybody out there is bad, and it's sometimes hard to believe that right now. But we need to find that. And if you're getting a whole lot of just bad news on your, say, your Facebook feed, then it might be time to start looking at who's being consistently giving you nothing but bad news and removing them from your Facebook feed, because we can't have that. It's too hard to live like that. And I want you all to be in a better place. I need to decide what I'm doing for the rest of my under eye. I'm going to take this like green Celia and put that under there and see how that looks. And if it doesn't quite work, we'll grab some Malecon. Not quite sure. I think it depends on which version of Spanish you speak. Oh, she's light enough. She'll do fine. I just didn't want her to be too dark. And she's giving a little shine too. So find some ways, think about things that make you happy and how you can translate them into encouraging yourself to believe again and to keep believing, to keep looking forward and having faith that tomorrow will be a better day. Next week will be another better week. Next year will be another better year. Because I know right now for everybody it is really hard. And then We're all getting bombarded with those negative messages. And I think we all need to take time for ourselves to really, really I don't even know how to phrase it, to encourage ourselves to be encouraged to think about the future in a positive way. I'm going to grab one more shimmer here. Again, I'm going to wet my brush. If I can figure out where I put it, there it is. And I'm going to grab this color. Which one do I want? I think psychedelic, and I'm going to put that on the middle of my lid. Still trying to brighten it up a little bit with a little bit of light. Just something. Maybe we're at the end of sunset, but we still need a little bit of glimmer. And that's giving me glimmer. It's not necessarily lighting things up. But it is doing something, so that's nice. Okay, I'm going to hit this up one more time, and I'm going to grab some of that El Malecón. I'm noticing on this eye, it's coming up a little dark for some reason, so we're going to grab some of this El Malecón, and on both of them, add that to get a little bit more sheen. Just a little bit. Oh, that did it on that eye. Let's see if it works on the other eye. Please work on the other eye. Yeah, I like that. I like that much better. I think it's a little dark on the inner corner, but I don't want to put too much on my inner corner because, yeah, that's where I end up having issues. You know what? I will grab some of this sunset since this other color really doesn't show up very well. I'm going to grab some of this sunset and put that on there and see if that does better. Yes, we are going a little bit over, doing a little bit more than usual, and I apologize. I thought I had a look figure out. You know, I'm going to grab this one. This is my Vasanti, I believe. Yes, it's my Vasanti. So we're going to grab some of this, like I said, some of this sunset, and we're going to put that on the inner corner and try to brighten that up a bit. Just a bit, with a little bit of shine, something a little lighter. A bit more orangey than the color we originally used. Yeah, that's looking much better. And in fact, I'm just going to put a little bit on this outer edge too. Just a touch. We're not covering up our red that's over there. Just trying to give that orange, that darker orange, a bit more. There we go. We knew I couldn't stay matte for long, right? Alrighty, so I have fumbled through this all, and I'm really sorry about that, guys. Sometimes when I want to talk about these topics, I can do research. Other times, like something like this, it's really hard to do research, and I have to think about it, and I do try to think about it, but sometimes I just can't seem to get across what I want to say. And anyway, I'm trying. I really am. I want to try to keep these going. They don't get much, they don't seem to get much traction in terms of views and stuff. So if you guys think we're done, just let me know. We're done. We're going to be done, and I can go ahead and just figure out something else to do on Wednesdays. Let me know what you think if you're one of my Whole and Healthy Wednesday watchers. But, you know, if we end on this one where I'm telling you guys, find some ways to make it through. Find some ways to keep your positivity alive. Find some ways to keep your faith that tomorrow will be a better day alive. If we end on that, that works for me. That's a good way to end the series. But, like I said, there's other things to talk about. I just have to figure out how to talk about them. If, you know, about spiritual, mental health, things that don't have to do with your body. Anyway, I'm going to go and finish the rest of my face, and then we'll be back. So this is our final look. Here I had to do some touching up on the eyes. I was starting losing it despite putting the setting spray over the top. That does happen particularly on this eye quite frequently. And I think I went a little deep when I was repairing underneath the eye, because when you put on the eyeliner, it kind of hides what you do, so you put more in. I think I put in a little too much. The Finding Fernandad was a little too pink. Little bit too pink. She was really too pink for this look, so I ended up adjusting her with some other stuff, but other than that, I think it's a nice look. I think it needed a little bit more shine, but you know, that's me. I like shine. I like the shiny things. Anyway, just to try to close this all up, and you know, that whole really shadow the whole encapsulating and final thoughts. I know I made a kind of a bungling mess of this one trying to explain where I was going. The biggest thing is, take away from this, is you need to have faith in tomorrow. You need to have faith in the people around you. You need to believe good in them. You need to believe good is coming. You need to, you know, that's what gives us strength to go through the day. If you have people in your life that are just dragging on you, if you are overwhelmed by all the negative news in the on your Facebook feed or whatever, it's start to time figure out what of those you can cut loose and to actually do that with. It's hard, I know it's hard, but if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of anybody else. And our physical bodies can not meet the standards of what is healthy by most people's opinions, and we can still be happy and feeling good about ourselves and feeling good about the world. If your spirit or your emotions, however, are impacted in such a negative way, it is much harder to do that, and it's much harder to stay positive. It's much harder to do, to find meaning in life, and much harder to... You are making a lot of noise. That's his tags. Anyway, it's much harder to just get through the day if you're finding it difficult to, just to find a way to be positive about the next day or whatever. So you have to find ways to build up your faith, not necessarily in God, though if you have faith in God, that for some people that helps. For other people, not so much. You need to find a way to restore your spirit, to get rid of some of the negativity so that you can have faith in the future, that it will be a better future. And I know that's hard to do, and I'm seeing a lot of friends on Facebook who are having difficulty with that, who are stepping out, so to speak, of being present in the world and with people. And it's sad to see, it's painful to see, especially because I love them so much and I want to see the best for all of them. And I just, seeing it in my friends that I talk to almost every day made me think that perhaps it's time to talk to you too. Anyway, I am going to go ahead and get going. I have an unboxing to do that I'm very excited about. And so we're going to go ahead and get going. If you just remember though, if you have a suggestion on where to keep going with these Whole and Healthy Wednesdays, because honestly I would like to keep them up. I'm just kind of running out of topics in my head. If you have a suggestion on topics or what you would like to see, my second day hair. Anyway, if you have suggestions on topics that you would like to see, or a direction you'd like to see the Whole and Healthy Wednesdays to go, I would really love to hear it, because I know there's stuff out there. I'm just having trouble thinking of it, you know, and, you know, all that. If you have things you want me to look into, that's fine too. I can do that. But I would really love your input on where to take this from now. What, damn it? Come here. Come here. Gambit, come here. Hi, baby. Hi, come here. Oh, there's our Gambit. A big boy. Anyway, I hope you like what you've seen, and that if you're not subscribed, that you will subscribe. If you do subscribe, I hope you will hit that notification bell to know when we upload. We currently upload 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, but we do occasionally have, you want to go already? We do occasionally have bonus videos, and we do have some coming up. We're still waiting on my son's loot crate, so I'm sorry that that one's taking so long. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm leaving that to his dad to figure out. And if you're part of my notification squad, you'll want to check your bell and your subscription and make sure they're both still active. If you don't subscribe, well, we would be sad, wouldn't we? He says, I want out of here. We would be sad, but you're always welcome to come back because we love having company here and we would love to see you again. And if we do see you again, don't forget to bring your cup of tea. I think this is such an adorable mug. I still love this. Anyway, our tea has gotten very cold by now. We're going to go ahead and give it a taste. I'm hoping we're going to see more orange in here, but, you know, chocolate can sometimes be just very overpowering. So let's give this a taste and see how this is as a now really cold tea. Yeah, the chocolate is really, really strong. There's a hint of the orange, but it's not very citrusy at all. And there's just a touch of bitterness on the back end. But otherwise, it's a great cup of tea. I honestly think this is better as a hot tea and probably closer to when it first starts steeping than, you know, now, later. Anyway, you all have a great day.